Hi and welcome to another Memories Made Scrapbooking Process video. I'm Jen Gallacher. Today we are going to start with an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of cardstock. Now it's trending right now to use a lot of white cardstock, but I want to encourage you to try some different background colors, including pattern paper. One thing I like about black is that it's going to make all of the colors and elements on my page pop. And again, you can do this as a 12 by 12 scale if you want to. You just need to enlarge all of the elements on your page. The first thing that I did to prepare for this page it contains some emotional journaling, and it talks a little bit about how I've struggled with trying to find happiness and joy and how I'm working towards that. And it's just kind of a note to myself to remember to try and do that. And I've printed it out on some white cardstock. And then I have cut it slightly smaller, so it's not 11 inches tall. It's more like 10 inches tall, or 10¼ inches tall. And this allows me to put other elements on the page, so it's pre-cut and ready to go. At the top here, I'm going to staple just a little bit of ribbon. And this is actually going to stick off my page so that when I put it in a sheet protector, it's going to come out of the sheet protector. And you can do this as long as the elements come off the top of your page. If you were to put an element that came off the side of your page, it obviously wouldn't be able to go inside a sheet protector. So you just need to plan accordingly. And then they're just little loops. One is slightly smaller than the other one. At the very bottom here, I'm going to take this half circle Bella Boulevard ephemera piece, and I'm going to stick it right here in the middle. And I love that it's already cut as a half circle. Now we're going to go ahead and add this strip to the page with some adhesive. If I find that, I bet it's going to do this anyway, because I have the ribbon up here at the top, rather than just do the adhesive that I'm using, the roller adhesive, I'm going to add a couple of glue dots, and that will ensure that despite that ribbon, that this strip is going to stick well on the page. And then to bring a little bit more of that black up here at the top, and because I think it's kind of sophisticated, I'm going to add a black photo corner, and it's kind of a black on black element, but all of a sudden it just looks a lot more finished. Now I'm going to use some colors that were inspired from a Jelly Bean Soup collection. And I've cut a couple of different papers. This particular strip is from Jelly Beans, or rather Simple Stories, Reset Girl. The ephemera is from Jelly Bean Soup. So I've pulled some things together that match. This is crepe paper, this is crepe paper, and this is Simple Stories. For any of the products that I'm using, you can look in the video description, and I've listed them all out there. You can also hop on over to the blog post and shop directly from the blog if you prefer. I'm using my scissors just to notch the ends of these pieces. And again, all the colors were inspired by the Jelly Bean Soup ephemera pieces. And I love notching paper and creating just some long pennants and banners. Just adds a little bit of texture to the page. And how I do that is I go from the corner to the center. And then around this ticket piece, which was cut from a piece of ticket pattern paper, I'm going to take some black and white baker's twine, because we're working with that black and I want it to be a little bit more dramatic. So I'm going to wrap it around about 3 times, and then I'm going to tie it into a bow. You could do this with baker's twine, you could do it with crochet twine, with ribbon. Just add a little bit of texture to your pages. I really do love texture on pages. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn over this particular piece and use the green side. We're going to start with this long black, it's kind of a V, almost like a heart. It's a tropical print on the other side. So when you look in the products below, that's the one you want to look for. And I'm going to slightly cover that right edge with this strip. Then I'm going to place the green strip down next. You could use the orange side. I do love that it has 2 sides and 2 different patterns to choose from. And you can see I'm leaving just a little bit of a gap. You'll also notice that I didn't cut these pennants at the same length. I like to kind of mix it up a little bit. So again, we're going to place the ticket one next. So all three are slightly different widths and slightly different lengths. Then I'm going to place my first photo, and these two photos are very similar. They're actually different photos, but I want to see placement before I place it down because I want to put this ephemera piece on it. It's a floral piece, and I just want it to show enough. But again, I don't want it to go all the way off my page. So we're going to cover this a little bit. Now before I place this down, I'm going to take two little Doodlebug paper clips, and they're in a teal color that we're going to bring in. And I'm going to paper clip them to the top of the photo. And this is a technique I use all the time. Probably seen me use it a few times. I've noticed that even the Target dollar spot has paper clips from time to time. They did at the beginning of the year, probably for office supply. So I always watch that dollar spot, or I'll even go into the office supply part of Target because I really love their colors and designs. So I have this photo. Again, I want a little bit of this floral to show. The second photo I'm going to place in this frame, and unfortunately I can't remember who makes this. Typically when I get them, they're either from Simple Stories or from Crepe Paper. So I'm not sure who this specifically is from, but you can look for frames by shopping at your favorite store. So just add adhesive right around the very edge so that it sticks to my photo. And these are photos from my iPhone 6, and I just printed them at the exact size they came in so that the quality wasn't lost at all. Place that in the frame, and then we'll add the frame to our layout, and we're going to tilt it slightly so it overlaps. Some of the, I think I'm going to put it on top. I think it looks better on top. And I'm going to tilt it to the right. Then to overlap these two pieces at the bottom, I'm going to take this Laugh die cut. It's an ephemera piece from Jelly Bean Soup. And I don't want to cover any of the journaling. This little chipboard piece is from Crepe Paper. And then I'm going to take another Jelly Bean Soup die cut. It's a leaf. I'll just stick that behind. And so these three pieces are kind of married together. Then from the same die cut strip, or packet rather, I have Choose Happy and Hello Today in little strips, and we're going to place these off the edge of the frame. And when I overlap, I slightly offset them. So you can see one is over here, and this gives you an idea of the cluster. And then I have some tabs. These are from Bella Boulevard. They were folded. I've cut them in half. I've used them on a few videos, some of the previous videos I've shown. This one says Love, and that is that teal color that we're bringing in. And then this one is orange, and it is plain. We're going to tuck that right behind there. I'm going to add some enamel dots in orange. These are from Echo Park. I want a little bit more of this die cut to show, so I'm going to pull it out. And I'm actually going to overlap the photo, and I like that a lot better. It looks much, much better. And then we'll add some more enamel dots above that, to bring the enamel dots, and you can see that they run in a diagonal here across. And then to fill in that tab, we're going to use the Chit Chat Ideology from Tim Holtz. And I'm going to pick the word enjoy to go inside my tab. I'm going to offset it just a little bit. So you can see how it's kind of offset. Then I'm going to add a little bit of texture. I've just cut a doily down a little bit so it's a little bit less bulky. And we'll just tuck it right underneath the words and the frame. So it just adds a little bit of texture here at the bottom. You could also die cut a piece like this from either your Silhouette or from your Sizzix die cut machine. And then just to fill in this empty space here, I've taken another tab to which I've added the word journal, also from the Tim Holtz stickers. If you don't have the stickers, you can simply write in your own words. I'm just going to have a little bit of that peek off here at the bottom. So here you have a layout on which I have placed all of my elements onto a black sheet of cardstock, and you can see that it's just a lot more dramatic. I also included a long strip of journaling. You could handwrite your journaling, and I used 2 photos that are very similar. There's nothing that says you have to use these different photos. You can always use the same photo. For additional inspiration, be sure to visit jengallacher.com, and if you haven't done so, take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel now.